you talk a little bit about how you maintain your health? What's your health maintenance? You know, some people, they'll go to an acupuncturist every so often, they'll go to the homeopath, they'll go to their naturopathic doctor, they'll go to their medical doctor. What do you do?
Okay. Okay. Are we doing this? All right. What I do is what I'm doing right now. I just sit here and listen to the silence of the planet and realize the only thing that really is keeping me from the silence is the advent of the machine and the technological world that we're living in. And if you really think about it, people are on freeways creating all this insanity behavior, and man has created large bodies of cement to entrap people to act in a very acidic manner to keep them away from the sensitivity of the preciousness of the moment in their health and their integration in nature. It's taken them away from nature. And everything that I do is reinforcing nature. So what I do specifically for my health is I take time to go into nature. And where I start that is I start with my own environment. Very supportive to meet somebody or to get together with somebody that might have some specific ways of you getting better. But if you're generally in good health, I think all you have to do is be your own doctor and follow different ways of reinforcing you're feeling good. And one of the things is like what I'm doing right now. I'm sitting in the sun. Why would I take a vitamin D tablet if I go right to the source? So I just get out and I make sure that I get sun on my body. It feels amazing. If it feels amazing, it must be amazing. And people say that if you get out in the sun, it will create cancer. It will create cancer because everybody has cancer within them, and it's through their acidic behavior that brings out the cancer. And the idea is that I don't welcome any cancer to come outside of me. And what I do is I reinforce that by doing nurturing, natural things to support the strength of my body and to be able to strengthen my immune system, that if any cancer comes around, I just say, no, thank you, not this time around. I'm okay. It's like some solicitor calling you that wants to sell you a bunch of stuff. And you have an opportunity to just say, no, thank you. I just choose not to want to have that.
Barry, can you share with us how many years young you are?
I'm turning 75.
Turning 75.
Yeah.
And in these 75 years, have you battled or struggled with cancer?
No. I've had some skin ailments, some skin cancer, but I've noticed that as I've embraced more of a living foods way of eating, that they're disappearing.
So you had a history of skin cancer that has been healed with the living foods diet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how about any heart disease that you know of?
None whatsoever. My heart is strong and
any
open.
Strokes, problems with your brain that you know of?
I've had some psychological problems in the sense when I was during the 60s, I took a lot of psychedelics, and when I went on a very 100% living foods, raw food diet, I started reoccurring some of those experiences, because anything that we put into ourselves has got to come out. And the idea is that I needed to cleanse those aspects, and I was starting to relive and flash back at some of those trips that I had taken. And finally, when I got through the cleansing, I eventually eliminated those, and ever since I've been soaring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Diabetes is something I see a lot of with people as they get older, and also younger people. Have you struggled with diabetes that you
Not at
know,
all.
or sugar problems
Not at all.
on a high fruit diet?
Not at all. It's simple sugar. It burns quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more, the better. Bring it on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's sugar from fruit, not sugar from processed.
Yeah.
stuff,
I
right?
stay away from anything, even cacao. I don't do any of that stuff. Anything altered. One of my greatest cravings is a durian. I'm a durian addict. And if anybody asks me about any addiction I have, I say yes, I'm a durian addict. So
I am too.
I actually made a video on being a durian addict. Yeah. I downplayed myself. I wore old clothes. I looked homeless. I dirtied up my face and just show how impoverished I am, and just so I'm truly addicted. And it's like, I can't have enough and the whole bit, but I actually, at the end of the video, I came out smiling.
Beautiful.
So,
Chronic pain, a lot of people as they get older, it's hips pain, knee pain, joint pain. You're almost 75 years old.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. And you work hard physically,
Right.
on your land.
Well, first of all, I feel like I've laid down a good foundation because I was an athlete all my life, so I have very good instincts, and I'm very quick. I'm quick in my body and in my mind. I have slowed down to a certain degree, but for the most part, I kick butt and take names.
Nice.
And anybody in their 40s, I could usually work twice as hard, twice as fast around.
Do you have difficulty getting up in the morning physically in your body?
I've worked very hard physically. One of the things I need to do more of is yoga. I'm not really as disciplined in that area. I tend to be on the stiffer side, but generally speaking, when I integrate some slower activity with my everyday pace, I'm not as stiff and I'm able to be relatively functional. I think part of living life, it's about being as healthy as you possibly can. The ingredients for health is twofold. One is to be as healthy as you possibly can by the food and by the thoughts that you create. And the second is to be flexible in your body and in your mind. And I feel like I'm very flexible in my mind. I think very youthfully, I act very youthfully, and the flexibility of my body is by getting massages, going to mineral spas, self-massaging myself, and doing a certain amount of stretching is what I do personally. And as a result, I feel very capable in all aspects of my physical body. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Inspirational.
Thank you. Thank you. And the thing is that we could be young at any age. We don't have to be limited by numbers.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that seems to be something that really momentarily irritates me, because the first things when I meet people, they want to know how old you are and what you do for a living. So what I tell them is the first thing I do for a living is I breathe just like all of us. That's what we all do for a living. And secondly, my age is ageless. It's about not how many times you've been around the sun, but it's about the journey around the sun and what you've learned along the way. Many people will take the elevator ride to the stairway to heaven, but they realize if you really listen to the song Stairway to Heaven, it's about taking the stairway, not the elevator. Because when you take the stairway, you really see all the floors in between through life, and if you're at all observant, you get to experience really what's going on. When you're taking the elevator, you've arrived at the top and you don't really have the foundation of all the floors beneath you. So as a result, you really don't know, and that's what I really don't encourage any type of altered drugs like ecstasy or any of these things people are taking, because what they're wanting to do is take the elevator ride, and what we want to do is take the natural ride that will get us ultimately to the stairway of heaven. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Nice.